the wicket. This is the pull shot. Sort of bottom corner of the bat. Went slow. It was a good catch. They had to make some ground. That's the breakthrough.
.373 ODIs for Kumar Sangakkara. Dilshan 281.
Then you've got Mahela Wardner, a mere 416. That's probably as many as England put together.
That's a lot of cricket. Kumar Sangakkara and Dilshan, on this occasion, they are batting together for the 150th time in international cricket, not just ODIs, all international cricket. Well done. Certainly have two good men down in the slip cordon, two bowlers down there, Beef.
Correct. Shadwell doing well there. Well fielded. I always said to my fellow bowlers, why do you like fielding at slip? I have to run around the outfield, do you?
Wicket maiden. Score stays on 26. Over number 4 in this spell for Jimmy Anderson.
Yeah, he's dragged it back, isn't he? He went for 9 in the first over. Jimmy Anderson now 3.1 overs, 13. I think you want to let him bowl at the start of the innings. I think he's a much better bowler than he is at the death. So I wouldn't mind him bowling 6 or 7 overs in the opening spell.
He has been trying to get the ball to the boundary for some time. Tendulkar and Dilshan, he has succeeded.
And in, put away. Not a great deal of pace on the surface.
Looking for a bit more than just a single on this occasion. I've seen Dilshan and Sangakkara have a few mix-ups with their running. Considering that they've batted so many times together, you'd have thought by now that they would understand totally what each other is hoping for. Well, that wasn't the best of runs either, but he got it there in the end.
If he'd have been in, if that was a direct hit, this would have been very tight. Gets it away quickly. The throw was a bit wide, very wide. And he took out Ian Gould, umpire.
Seven runs from that over, 33 for 1. Not a very stiff wind, just enough to keep the flags fluttering. Sri Lanka, pretty good start on this occasion. Not timing it very well at all to look at the Dilshan. We've got a change in the commentary box. Russell Arnold is with Nasser Hussain.
Thanks, Mikey. A good start from Sri Lanka, but England have bounced back well in the last 3 overs. Just the 6 runs, 1 wicket. Pressure being applied by Gurney and Anderson. Dilshan trying to seize it back. Most likely form of dismissal so far, Russell, has been the run out.
And these two have had plenty of misunderstandings, so they're batted together quite a bit. So always exciting moments when they are out together. Sri Lanka made a couple of changes today. Kusal Perera, the batsman, dismissed, coming in at the expense of Dinesh Chandimal. Thirimana dropping back into the middle order.
I thought the move to Perera was a good one. I know he's out. Slightly unlucky, actually, to play a shot like that and get caught slip. I thought that was a good move, because England and England's bowlers, they don't like it when people put them on the back foot. They like people blocking or defending. They don't like someone coming after them.
He batted well for those 19 runs that he got off 15 balls. It's given Sri Lanka a bit of breathing space where Sangakkara can play himself in. Dilshan's role too over the years has changed. Initially he was the aggressor, but of late his game has changed. Very consistent, averaging in the 50s in his last 15 innings, Tilakaratne Dilshan, but not the impact player. It takes his time. His strike rate has dropped, but gets those runs. So Sri Lanka like to have someone going early just to ease the pressure in terms of the run rate, and that man is Kusal Perera.
Struggled with the angle of Gurney. I don't think he's picked Gurney up particularly well. Right from that very first T20 game, he dismissed him bowled at the Oval.
Not the easiest of pitches to hit through the line, because I think it's just holding up a bit tacky. And even Kusal Perera's dismissal was the reason that he had gone through the shot much earlier than the ball arrived.
Again, just that little bit of movement, leg by, he'll keep the strike. Dilshan, it's 34 for 1. Has clouded over since the toss when the coin went up. Midnight was in the middle, it was bright sunshine. Just got a little bit cloudy, so Cook's got a little bit fortunate with the toss. Has nibbled around slightly, still a very good surface. And Sri Lanka get a score. Got a good bowling attack, they just need a score to defend.
.260 nas. That's what I think Sri Lanka would need. At least a 250 plus score to give themselves a chance, because this pitch will get better. Maybe slow down a bit. They got Mendes in the team, so 2 spinners, which would suit Sri Lanka's requirement.
Ball doesn't usually turn here too much at Lord's, so it'll be interesting to see how England go against spin. 2 mystery spinners, Senanayake and Ajantha Mendes.
And because they don't expect it to spin a lot, that's why they've gone to Mendes, because he's a wicket-to-wicket bowler. They'll be looking for the ball to skid on and maybe just a slight deviation, so he could be a threat.
It's funny, isn't it? You pick your spinner, your second spinner, because you don't think it's going to spin a lot. But, that's what the is, Mendes. Just flicks it a little bit one way, then the other.
And if there's a bit of moisture, the spinners do come into it. We saw that up in Durham, where Senanayake was surprised when the ball started skidding through, which he wouldn't have had in the subcontinent.
Lots of changes in the field. Treadwell's gone across to short mid-wicket. Man goes out on the leg side boundary. Anderson obviously going to try and bowl very straight to Dilshan. Split field. Dilshan looking for anything wide. He's getting fidgety. Whatever Russell Arnold says about his new role and the way he's been more responsible, he is getting fidgety. He wants a boundary.
Well, even Sangakkara, very solid, but doesn't like to go long periods without runs. That's how bowlers can build pressure. Dot balls, even to the best.
There it is. Dil scoop. He's gone to his favoured shot. You could sense he wanted a boundary. He's got a boundary. Tough one to bowl against, all defend. Yeah, he's been looking to go through the covers, unable to time it, so he's gone to his break-free shot. Short fine leg in place, no deep fine leg, so that's quite a safe shot. All he needs is decent bat. Yeah, bounced up nicely. Brave as well. Goes again. Same result. Excellent from Dilshan.
He's playing well, Tilakrat and Dilshan. It's important he goes on to make a big one. One batsman from the top needs to control the innings. This is an even better shot, because he's been watching that ball. Ball angled into him. Brilliant. Now what does Anderson do? He's bowling a good length. Nothing wrong with the delivery, but he's conceded 2 fours.
Wonder if he'll go for the Yorker. Goes full. Oh, goes the shorter ball. Very difficult to Dil scoop the short ball. If anyone can, he can.
And he's just not making a change, Anderson. He's trusting his length.
Well, there was a subtle change. He just brought his length back a little bit, realising that at the top of the bounce there, it was difficult for Dilshan to go down so low and still hit it. Another short ball now. Is that off the glove? I think it is, but it's gone over the keeper, and Jordan's got the slide out. Off the glove. A good battle between Anderson and Dilshan. 44 for 1.
Fortune favouring the brave. Angled in, and that's on the slope. Dilshan didn't think it'll come back as much, and he was lucky. Got just enough to get it over the wicket-keeper's head.
Yeah, it's a good point about the slope. Just coming down the slope, nipped back in, and it tucked him up. He was leaving it. Just the tennis ball bounce as well. He's trying to tell Sangakkara there, just sat in the pitch. But that was a good battle. Dilshan's won it. He's got 10 off the over. But you can tell from Anderson's body language he feels in the game.
Yeah, you could argue that Dilshan did win it, but you got to give credit to Anderson. He didn't change his field. He stuck to his plan, which he knew he was getting on top of Dilshan, though conceding boundaries, and I think that's important. Anderson's role is all about picking up wickets too. Batsmen take a chance against. If you go out of your plans, you're asking for more trouble.
Now Sangakkara, what you got? Dilshan's eased the pressure on himself with a couple of boundaries. Sangakkara, 7 deliveries without a run. 2 slips waiting if he makes a mistake. Down the ground. Good from Gurney. Just keeps the pressure on Sangakkara. Keeps him on naught.
Yes, still to contribute, Kumar Sangakkara. Rarely does he go through series without getting that big one. He'll be happy. Dilshan got 10 runs off the last over by hook or by crook, because Sri Lanka's run rate will be healthy. I would also suspect that Thirimana will play a floating role. Sri Lanka lose another wicket before probably the 20th over. Thirimana might come in, but if they got to the 20th over, that means the foundation is set and they're on their way. Probably a time for Jayawardene, Matthews and Ashan Priyanjana, more stroke players, free-flowing players to come in.
Change in the field. Second slip goes to a short mid-wicket. Still need that second catcher in these 10 overs. Very impressive. Gurney's been hit for that 1-6 that Pereira pulled him for. Apart from that, he's only gone for 6 runs in the best part of 5 overs.
And it's been top stuff. Dot balls, 11 of them to Sangakkara. Hard hands coming into play.
It'll be a wide. Too high.
These batsmen do like to feel the ball in the middle of the bat early in their innings. And Sangakkara is one of those who goes feeling for it early. And England have not allowed him to settle in.
Extra delivery doesn't cost Gurney. End of the power play, 45 for 1.
Yeah, good start. Thanks to Kusal Pereira. Not afraid to go after the bowling, a bit of width. Look to go onside. And that was his downfall as well. That's his zone. He's missed out. Good start though. Dilshan needed to take some chances and he went to the scoop. And it pays off. We've seen a good battle between bat and ball. Anderson Gurney hitting those lengths.
Unusual power play, 3 maidens in there, nearly 4 maidens if it hadn't been for that wide from Gurney. Quite a few boundaries as well. It's the best power play that Sri Lanka have had in the series so far, going past what they got at the Oval. 43 for 1. Changing the bowling. It won't be the frontline spinner of Treadwell, it'll be the part-time spin of Joe Root. And this will be a tempter for Dilshan. 23-year-old who has bowled a lot of off-spin for England in his short time so far.
It's a good decision, in fact. It's a tacky wicket. That's what I feel it is. And a spinner might just get something out of it.
He'll bowl a little bit like Treadwell bowled in Australia. He'll bowl round the wicket in a very tight line. Treadwell's been a little bit more attacking in this series from over the wicket. Root a little bit more defensive. You can tell that by the field, just the 5 men in, which is what you're allowed. Plenty of singles, but you feel Dilshan wants to hit boundaries. Super player, a spin. Really is. I first saw him on an A tour out in Sri Lanka as a young lad. I think he was only about 18 years old. Masterclass in playing spin.
Very quick on his feet. not so going down the pitch, but he gets deep in his crease and will play the good length ball off the back foot, which puts a lot of spinners off.
Yeah, and he also hits against the spinner. Sangakkara did a masterclass with Nick Knight where he looks to hit with the spin a lot, but Dilshan, a little bit like Dravid did when he played Swan all those years ago, will look to hit both sides of the wicket with the off spinner into out over extra. Slip in for the left-hander. Root will be spinning the ball fractionally down the slope. And he's off the mark.
Took him 12 balls, 13 balls in fact. His first round, Kumar Sangakkara. There's plenty of deliveries left. He can catch up, and it's important that he does build a partnership with Dilshan. Yeah, and on Dilshan, Nasser, the way he plays also gives the bowlers a chance. Even against the faster bowlers, he likes to go inside out, leaves a gap between bat and pad, and England have exploited that. Dismissed him on a couple of occasions in this series. They once had scored 88 in Durham. Jordan got one to nip back, which was a very good ball, and then again at Old Trafford, Anderson picked him up. A lot of bowlers do try to do that to him early in his innings.
Gets it through, hasn't timed it. Cut off, and cut off well by Treadwell. 50 up for Sri Lanka, 50 for 1.
Yeah, this was Dilshan in Durham. Right away outside off stump, comes back to hit the leg stump through the gate between bat and pad. Early in the innings at Old Trafford. The one that jags back in does cause him an issue because he's looking to go inside out more often than not. But he's had a good series so far.
Yep, he's always looking to hit offside. He's very much an in-to-out player, and that's why he is susceptible to the ball that nips back in. Will be a change in bowling. Might have gone for that reason. You might have gone for Jordan bowling at the pavilion end to try and nip the ball back in down the slope. Maybe Jordan just prefers the nursery end, where he's got the option of taking it away from the right-hander. Fantastic start to his career. Fantastic performance. Up at Durham twice in this series so far. He's been man of the match. Interesting to hear Alistair Cook yesterday say that he hasn't changed one bit from when he first got that cap. He comes in, he works harder. Personality hasn't changed. He hasn't got tickets on himself at the moment. Just gets on with his business. Shan's down.
The way Cook is handling his bowlers also indicates that this pitch is a much better one in terms for batting. Anderson's been held back after bowling 5 overs, but usually bowls him more, looking for wickets. He's got Root in to try and get in an over. So he's thinking of the long haul.
Might be saving Anderson for Tiramani whenever he comes in. Tiramani struggled against Jimmy Anderson, but you're right, it's a better pitch. Toe end of the bat. He missed out there, Sangakkara. That was a hit-me ball.
Still not stroking them freely, Sangakkara. Because he's using hard hands. But if he was feeling good, would have waited for that and played it much squarer. Relied on his timing rather than trying to power it through.
It just eases it down to third man. 10 days or so away from that first test match here at Lord's, and Chris Jordan will be looking and waiting for the call. of wickets, runs, catches, already taken a catch here. Got to be in with a shout.
Leading wicket take, Chris Jordan. A fifer at Old Trafford. Very impressive. Contributes in all forms, even in the field, with the bat.
Be a wide.
That first test will also be played out here in Lord's, and wonderful venue. Just walking out there early, even if you're playing or not playing, just gives you a different feel. The groundsmen have done really well too.
Yeah, good pitch considering all the rain we've had well, all over the country in the last couple of weeks. But beautiful morning, has clouded over. It's special place Saturday at Lord's. Really is Ian Ward's show this morning from up in one of the boxes. It looks spectacular. Dilshan likes this place. This is his best ODI score here, but his career best test score was made on this ground. What was that, Richard? 193.
That's the last time Sri Lanka played here, 2011. Javardhana also has a test 100 here. Mavanata Patil, Sri Lankan head coach, has 100 here. It's always special to get your name up on the board. And look at the outfield. So beautiful. The groundsman was up at 5:30. Trying to get the outfield in order using the grass cutters. Went on till about 9:30. 4 hours of hard work early today to get the game, or to give the best of conditions for the game.
All started here for Sri Lanka all those years ago when Siddharth Wetamuni got 100 here. First name on the honours board.
Won't be surprised if he's in the crowd. No, he's in London, and we haven't spotted him yet.
Thought about a single, said no, end of the over, 54 for 1. .54 for 1 in 12, so a good start from Sri Lanka. Someone's got the teas in or the coffees in. England need to continue to try and take wickets. This is where somewhere England just need to work on their game, not to just sit in and defend. A little bit of Durham, they just defended a little bit too much and got milked. Because you know Sri Lanka, if they post a score, even if it's 10 or 20 below par with their bowling attack, they'll feel they can defend it. So Cook needs to think about his wicket-taking options.
That figure would be probably around 250. 260 is what Sri Lanka will be looking for from here. 6 and over. Yes. Gets them to about 280. With the field restrictions, which allows only 4 fielders outside the circle. Wickets in hand, the latter overs just goes into the batsman's zone.
Cook not happy with himself at slip. He's moved himself out and he's called for CJ. Chris Jordan, come and stand at slip. Quickly been given the keys to City. Chris Jordan, everything. He's taking a catch, he stands at slip, he bowls, he bats.
He's man of the match when England wins. 2 awards already this series. Saw him take a wonderful catch at the T20 World Cup, where he managed to hold on to his sunglasses, the ball, but didn't get full marks from me because he let his cap fall onto the ground.
Good from Root so far. 3 dots in this over. Again, you just get a sense that pressure's building. They want a boundary, especially on Sangakkara. 4 from 19 deliveries. Very good from Root, 57 for 1.
Sri Lanka will be thinking a partnership now. This one, 31 of 49. From a team point of view, it wouldn't worry them, but Nasser is right. Sangakkara would like to see that scoreboard moving a little bit more, a little bit faster. He's got the experience. He should know well that this pitch will become better for batting, and it's about spending time.
Excellent crowd in, really good. A few empty seats around, but 200 tickets, we've been told, available. A lot has been made of Chris Jordan's run-up, which he struggled with at times. Thought Stephen Finn gave Michael Atherton a really good interview last night about his run-up problems and where it went wrong and how he became unselectable for England in the winter and how he took ownership of his game. Didn't blame the coaches too much, just got on with it and is trying to put it right. We will put that Stephen Finn interview out again during the interval. It's an excellent interview on his game, how he's fighting back. Down the pitch, Sangakkara trying to fight back. Good from Alistair Cook.
Still no timing for Sangakkara, and that's the pressure the bowlers have been building on. No freebies. If you want runs, take your chances. You were wondering about Jordan bowling from the pavilion end because he brings the ball back in to the right-handers. But I remember Nick Knight did a piece up in Old Trafford where he was using the angles, going wide of the crease and getting it in to the right-hander, especially the shorter one. That might be tougher to judge with the slope here. The batsman will be reading the angle from the hand, but then something different can happen off the pitch. So bowling from this end might cause more doubts for the batsman. We all expect a lot more from this man once he gets that a bit more momentum into that run-up.
Close to a wide. Sangakkara looks at the square leg umpire and he doesn't have to worry because they're both signalling wide.
Tennis ball bounce, isn't it? Not going through quick enough, but just holding in the pitch ever so slightly.
Oh, toe end of the bat, but he gets enough. He had enough power and momentum going forward. Settle for 2.
He's had enough, Kumar Sangakkara. He's got away with that. Just getting it over the infield, but credit to the English bowlers to build pressure in this manner. He'll be just looking for one boundary and then he'll settle in. So hopefully he can survive in taking those chances till then. Yeah, much calmer. The Sangakkara we know waiting for the ball to come into the pads. Seen a lot of hard hands from him today.
tickled leg side. Dilshan will keep the strike. 63 for 1 after 14 overs.
Come on! Work it out here, come on! On the ball route!
Sangakkara 7, Dilshan on strike on 31. Joe Root to continue. Take the single. Change up here, 2 posh boys, Strauss and Gower.
Uncalled for.
Come on, routine!
Unpleasant, that Hussein, isn't he? Thoroughly unpleasant.
Should we just get rid of him? P45.
Well, I'm with you.
Wonder if we can spell it.
Go, routine! Nice. Excellent belly.
Well, Sangakkara 7 from 24 balls. Nice shot for 1.
Yeah, it's been quite sedate from Sangakkara so far. Dilshan, 32 of 47 balls. He struggled to time the ball a little bit as well so far in his innings. Good platform, though, for Sri Lanka. He's got to be careful about early wickets here at Lord's, I think. Got through that pretty well.
Oh, high full toss, clubbed away. One of those ones, actually, it's almost too high. It takes you by surprise. Okay, it might only be 50 miles an hour, but as a batsman, you're never quite set for one that's looping like this. Easy enough to miscue.
Reminiscent of that ball Graham Swan bowled to Chris Rogers in the Ashes last summer.
Yeah, that was the definition of unlucky, wasn't it? Not only did he miss it, but it was missing the stumps. Given LBW, didn't review it. Whatever could go wrong with that one delivery did. .68 for 1, so 1 better than at Old Trafford in the previous match. But a very different looking day this. 68 for 1 from 15.
Yeah, I think we're all hoping for a less one-sided affair this time round. No reason why it shouldn't be. Good wicket, nice day here today. Spectators enjoying themselves.
Yeah, whatever this series has had so far, it's not had a close game. We've not had a close finish at any stage. Yet.
Yeah, I think a lot of that's been down to good bowling actually on both sides. I think of Chris Jordan, James Anderson, I think it's been pretty impressive. Harry Gurney's come in well. And even though this wicket's played pretty well here today, I think England have done a good job with the new ball. Given the Sri Lankans no real width, made life hard. Someone like Dilshan to be scoring at a strike rate of 70 suggests the bowlers have done pretty well. There's Chris Jordan. I mean, he's had an outstanding series so far. 9 wickets at 13. Really hit the ground running in international cricket.
That's been another thing today as well. You've got a short ball there which is put away rather nicely. On a better day for Kumar Sangakkara, he gets a little bit more bat on it, gets it square, gets 4 runs for it. Today it's just 1 down to long legs, so that's one of those little quirks.
Well, what's surprising from Sri Lanka's point of view is that both Sangakkara and Jayawardene have struggled a little bit in this series. Such consistent performers for Sri Lanka over such a long period of time. Over 700 internationals between them, but that's under par from Sangakkara. Just the one score of 40 in Durham. They rely so much on those two seasoned campaigners.
That's gone finer. This one should be 4, is 4. Not a great delivery from Chris Jordan. Should have maybe taken the message, I think, from the previous short one, which posed no threat either.
Yeah, no real pace in this wicket. You bang it in short, it sits up. Sangakkara had plenty of time there. Just placed it a little bit better than the previous delivery. Got it finer. That gets him going. 13 off 27 balls now for Sangakkara.
Yeah, the one thing I would say about Sri Lanka's batting in this series, and Sangakkara in particular, is that that 40 at Durham was important. Dilshan batted well that day, 88 I think he made. Partnership got them on the right track, and of course they were able to win that game by some distance. So when they do get runs, it does count. As you say, you're absolutely right. He has been below par overall. You'd expect more from someone like Kumar Sangakkara in 3 or 4 knocks like this. But if he hangs in there today, if they build the right sort of partnership today, that's good. Dilshan a little bit slower than he was at Durham. He was up at about 80 runs per 100 ball at Durham. Right, 77 for 1. Nick.
Dilshan's going well. In fact, Sri Lanka are going well. Nash was on commentary a while ago saying he was surprised how he struggled to harry Gurney. I think I've got the reasons as to why. If we just have a look at him setting up here, ideally you want to be in a position to address the ball from left arm over. Thing to look out for is that front foot. If we just roll it forward, see it go across the crease, he cuts himself off in some ways. And if we just hold it there, back foot's going that way, front foot's going that way, and all that means is the bat then has to work around the front foot. And in the end, he presents at best half a blade. So it's a lot of work to do to get that bat on ball. If we compare that to Sangakkara, this is almost perfect. Similar situation, right-hand bowler, left-hand batsman, roll it on. Front foot does go across, but he's able to present the full face because he hasn't closed off. Keep it rolling forward. And you'll have a look at the connection there. That time, it's almost a full face. And so he will consistently score runs on the leg side. That's the perfect position. So a little bit of work to do there for Dilshan. He just cuts himself off with the angle of the left arm. I guess a lot of right-hand batsmen will probably end up doing that, particularly here, maybe with the slope as well.
Excellent, Morgie.
Yeah, and a bit of a kind of strength and weakness thing. Dilshan's so strong through the offside because he closed himself off, or almost he gives himself a great opportunity to hit through that offside. Less good to those straight balls and leg-sided balls. Sangakkara really a perfect template as a left-handed batsman, isn't he? I mean, he's so well positioned at all times. Really good balance. A little bit of turn there for Treadwell. Don't get wide of off stump to Dilshan because he will murder you.
Yes, Tread. Right back, come on.
That's where Dilshan struggled a little bit today, I think, with the timing. Trying to come down the pitch, trying to find a gap at mid-on, but just completely miscuing it. Finally gets one through there. Those are the things that just keep things ticking in any form of one-day cricket, especially in the 50-over game, where a couple of those going through the gap, into the gap, 2 or 3 runs and over guaranteed. You're ticking, you want the odd boundary on top of that now and again, but so far it's 1 from 5 balls.
And Sri Lanka will always be keen to see how the spinners go. 17 overs gone, 78 for 1 now. Naika in particular has been very impressive for Sri Lanka, and they'll need something in the wicket for the spinners.
Yeah, he's back, of course. He's been outstanding in the series so far. Sajanta Mendes plays the first time in this series. Arath played the other day at Old Trafford. Didn't have a chance to do particularly much, to be honest. Good or bad. Bowling figures so far. Root has bowled those 3 overs. Treadwell, therefore, might only have to bowl 7, or Bapara, for instance, could come in. I mean, someone doesn't have to bowl a full 10. Gurney and Jordan almost certainly will. Change of end for Root. Now you'd think that's one that Dilshan would always get away.
Yeah, with the slope as well. That's always going down the slope. Just beating for pace almost there. Useful for Alistair Cook to have a 6th bowler like Joe Root. It gives you a lot of flexibility as a captain. Don't have to bowl just 5 bowlers. And Root's pretty good customer. Nice variations in pace. Picked up the odd wicket along the way as well.
Powerfully struck. You can put it down as a very, very, very hard half chance, in the sense it went very quickly just to Joe Root's left.
Yeah, Sangakkara keen to get on with things a little bit now. He's been quite sedate. Going down the wicket, hit that hard. I mean, Root, I don't think he even got a finger on it, to be honest. It was a good shot. Drill down the ground. Some useful momentum for Sri Lanka.
That's just over Bapara as well, so 2 aggressive shots in succession. Sangakkara deciding that now is the time to change the tempo, it seems.
Yeah, and good thinking from Sangakkara. Root bowling against the slopes. He's not unlikely to get any real turn. It's a pretty safe shot. He can go down the wicket. Just watch his head over that ball. Doesn't lift his head at all. It's the perfect way to hit someone over the top.
Lovely shot too through the offside this time. That's beautifully placed, beautifully timed, and becomes the 3rd successive boundary.
Yeah, just class, pure class from Sangakkara. Created the opportunity for himself with going down the wicket, stayed in his crease this time, and he's so strong through there.
Productive over for Sri Lanka. 14 runs from it. They moved to 92 for 1. Time to celebrate with a drink, it seems.
Upon thy peak, a creature hath expired. What? You got a dead fly in your hat. Have I? Ah! Gross.
92 for 1 then, 18 overs into this Sri Lankan innings. Just a reminder that they were asked about first today by England. England winning the toss yet again. You'd call that steady without being over-exciting. England to bowl well. Dilshan's batted well again, 40 from 60. Sangakkara, we saw in that last over before the drinks, just starting to unleash. That's actually his highest ever score in an ODI here at Lord's, which for a man of his qualities is something of a surprise. One wicket down. That was Crystal Pereira trying to get through the wicket toe of the bat. Actually a good catch from Chris Jordan.
Yeah, Pereira came out hard at the England bowlers and actually timed the ball beautifully in his short stay. Only 15 balls for him, but he did score 19. One shot too many, really. That one wasn't there to hit. Good catch by Chris Jordan.
Actually was there to hit, but the other side maybe. He went on length, obviously, went on length, thought the pull shot was on. If he'd had time to rethink it, it was short enough to maybe cut away, and just wide enough to cut away.
He'd hit Gurney through the leg side a couple of times before. I'm going to repeat the dose. And in your picture, Sangakkara has just got himself going in the last over. Lovely shots over the top against Joe Root. Identified England's 6th bowler. Experienced cricketer Sangakkara realised the odds were in his favour and went after him.
Right, Treadwell, 1 over for 1 so far. Loops it up there, 48 miles an hour. Anything below 50 you'd count as slower than slow.
Down. Yes, Morgs.
Slightly flatter this time, slightly quicker too, 54.
Nice, Treddy. Good work there from you, Treaders. Lick to slip here, Tread.
Interesting that Alistair Cook has kept the slip in. Treadwell bowling with the assistance of the slow, but not with any great turn. Absolutely none there as that one drifts in. But relying on that, on the sort of twin ploys of keeping it really straight at Sangakkara, so giving him no room, and just those changes of pace. Oh, that's a good shot. Nip and tuck as to whether or not the dive would cut it off. But balance didn't quite get a hand on it there.
Yeah, good use of the feet again from Sangakkara. We saw it against Root, now at the other end, just got to the pitch of it. Didn't try and overhit it. I think that was the secret to that shot. Balance might have done better with that. Look at the Wasp score, the predicted score now for Sri Lanka, gone up from 294. Start of the day, we thought good score was 260, so they're ahead of where they need to be at the moment.
Right, after that expensive over from Joe Root, Ravi Bopara comes into the attack. He's bowled his medium paces. Have to try again. Always seems to be a lot of debate in this box about Ravi's merits as 5th or 6th bowler. I actually think he's quite canny. Others I know are sort of not quite sure whether or not he's up to bowling 10 overs, for instance, regularly. Where do you stand on this?
You'd prefer him as a 6th bowler for me. He can do a job. I think you're right. He's evolved as a one-day bowler. He's got a few tricks up his sleeve. He's got slower balls and changes of pace. Bowls very stump to stump. But it is a problem for England, taking wickets in the middle period of a one-day international. It's always been a problem for us. Can't afford just to let teams tick over in this middle over period. So there's a lot of on the shoulders of Bopara and Treadwell at the other end to make sure they're not just going through the motions and trying to go at 4 and 5s and over. They've got to find a way of taking wickets. Ideally, England would like someone a bit more potency as their 5th bowler. You obviously don't agree with me, David.
No, I do take the point. I mean, I do agree, but I think that, I think Bopara has skills. And I'd also offer you this. In those middle overs, if you've got a good pitch like we seem to have today, not maybe as quick as some, but perfectly decent, good-looking pitch, and you get to this stage, you're basically 100 for 1 almost now, a couple of batsmen set. Okay, how are you going to get someone out? You either have to, most teams would have to bring back a strike bowler. There aren't many teams with an absolute out-and-out wicket taker, either as your spinner or as your 4th or 5th bowler. So if you want to take a wicket, virtually every team has to bring back a strike bowler. And the other thing you can do is, say sometimes if your spinner does the job, Treadwell, we've seen the ups and downs of Treadwell the last 12 months. On a good day, he picks up 2 or 3 and doesn't go for too many. On a bad day, he might still pick up a couple, but goes for 60, 70. And that's your conundrum. That's how do you balance it? But my point is that Bopara has certain skills with the variations of pace and the rest of it.
I think this is where England look upon the likes of Ajmal and Senanayake with great envy. There's mystery spinners that can take wickets in the middle period. Senanayake has proved that already in this series, creating problems in the England middle order. Ajmal does it well for Pakistan. Think back to Muralitharan. Unfortunately, we don't have a spinner like that, and there's no one coming through either. So England have got to find another way of taking wickets in the middle.
Super shot, beautifully timed that. Bopara slightly at fault with the full length and that little bit of width. That brings the 100 up, 103 for 1.
Yeah, good again, Sangakkara. Look at that weight into the ball. Didn't overhit it again. We've seen a lot of that from him. Just timing it. It's such a quick outfield here at Lord's. He's got a nice little spurt on, up to 36 or 42 balls now.
Now, Dilshan hasn't had an awful lot of the strike in the last 20 minutes or so. You might think he's gone quiet. Well, he's not really been facing much. Sangakkara is the man who's been making all the inroads with the bat, as it were, in these last few overs. One of the ways he's done it is using his feet well against the spin bowlers. That over against Root was a classic example of a left-hander using his feet well, hitting straight down the ground first, getting right out to the ball, right out of the crease. Easy 2 here.
Good footwork again from Sangakkara, this time off the back foot. I think using your feet at Lord's is always a good option. The ball tends to skid on from the spinners here. Sweeping is a dangerous method of playing, but here we go, right back in his crease, waited for the ball.
That, in a sense, is a slightly better shot because it wasn't quite so short. It was floated up there. For a moment, you felt as though Sangakkara might have just misjudged the length slightly. But he seems to have got himself into a really good rhythm at the moment. Although it wasn't quite as short, he's just on the back foot again, trusting the bounce. This thing about a good Lord's pitch, trusting the bounce, and he's got the pace of it settled as well now.
Nice, Treddy. Hit.
In on slightly deep, Sangakkara down the pitch, able to carry on the momentum, take the one, keep the strike. 6 runs from the over, 109 for 1. For 1, time for another little change in the commentary box. Here, both of them alongside Nick Knight now.
Thanks, David. Yeah, a few problems here for the England captain. 2 experienced players. Sticking with Bopara, who doesn't have to bowl his full allocation of 10 because Joe Root's bowled 4. Just collecting for now. These 2 experienced players, they'll just milk it. I don't think they'll take the batting power play. They'll just try and build this partnership and then go big at the end. That's what we see from a lot of sides.
Dangerous partnership, isn't it? These 2. Sangakkara took his time getting in. 13 deliveries before he got off the mark. Now he's got 42 from 47.
No.
Yeah, it is a dangerous time, but perhaps it's a good thing for England in the sense that they've got the best part of 20 or so games before the World Cup starts in February in Australia, New Zealand. And I reckon this is the time that, or the moment of the game that that man there and Peter Moores perhaps have to look at maybe the balance of the side and maybe how they play out this phase of the game. Yeah, it's too easy. If you're on the 1, be on the 1. Don't let the score just keep ticking over.
Yeah, I agree with you. There's no point. They're happy to go at 6 runs and over at this stage without breaking sweat.
It also brings to the fore a little bit the impact of Stephen Finn. We're going to hear from Stephen Finn actually at lunchtime, an interview that he did yesterday. It's so important that Stephen Finn, for me, gets back in this side. Too easy, clipped away leg side. Outfield is quick enough, and he's looked in really good touch today, Sangakkara.
He is a magnificent player. Partnership 89 from just 102 balls. Very easy.
Again, easy one in the end. It's excellent running.
Another thing the Sri Lankans are like is the sun's breaking through again now. That cloud's drifted away. Oh, there's sunshine coming in behind it.
Not quite, but at his best today, Dilshan, but it's timed well enough. Mr. Cook is in the action. The dive can't save it.
1-0. Bottom corner.
Expensive over. 11 runs from Bopara. 120 for 1. You see that closed face. He's not quite timed the ball as he'd like.
Nice, Truddy. Come on, Trud. Come on, bud. Be the man for this pole here, Truddy.
It was a difficult decision at the toss, actually. Both captains said they were going to bowl first. Difficult one at Lord's, isn't it? Because you look skywards and you see the blue sky, and then you look downwards and it's been under covers for quite some time. There's a lot of rain here.
You know, it's the end of May. It's 10:30 in the morning. There was cloud cover. You bowl. You've got to back your bowlers. And England did start off well, got wicket. But then these two are quality players have dug in. They haven't. It was tough for them early on. They've gone through that. And now 300, I would thought is, well, would be minimum. And I think the Wasp is reading of 309 is much more realistic. Would be one of our jazz hats, wouldn't it, who'd have said 260.
Go!
Which one of our jazz hats?
Well, it's not NASA because he's not a jazz hat. So Strauss.
Strauss or Gower?
No, Strauss. Strauss,
Oh,
I
you
think.
should know. Mikey.
Well, you'd think so, but you know, he's.
You said 260.
Well, there you go. He must have been batting.
Yours, Trud.
Good over then from James Trevor. Just 3 runs from it. 123 for 1.
In fact, it might have been a bit high if he was batting.
Well, I think this is a good move. Talking earlier about England trying or searching for wickets. He's gone to Chris Jordan, who's been in the wickets throughout the series and the match on a couple of occasions. This is where I think, though, Alistair Cook still needs to develop as a captain. Yes, the partnership is good. It's nearly 100. But if you bring back your star bowler, you've got to have a couple of catches in place. He's got no slips. I would have thought you go to Jordan here and say, bowl as quick as you can. I'll give you a couple of slips. Get me a wicket. Only 2 overs. Might still get a wicket. .50 up then at a canter, really. Showed some excellent form. Right from the moment he came to the crease, he's found the middle of the bat and he's nicely set here.
system here. 86th, 50. 373 one-day internationals. 1800 is a good record. Quality player.
Yeah, a partnership of contrasting styles, really. Dilshan has not perhaps been his best in terms of timing, but he's also on the cusp of a half-century, which he gets now. Had to work hard today, Tendulkar Dilshan. He's shown some form in the series, perhaps not at his dynamic best, but again he's set up this Sri Lankan total here.
Well, he dug in at Durham, didn't he? Didn't play his natural game. He was very circumspect. But again, he's done that here, and it's setting its foundations here for a big score for Sri Lanka.
Beautifully played, beautifully timed, too good. Not even the man at deep point. Think it's James Treadwell could get round there.
The right timing is excellent here. Pace on the ball, it's on top of the bounce, totally in control, placed it beautifully.
Well, he was furious with himself when he got out in the last game at Old Trafford. Banged the bat. Got out to Chris Jordan, bowled a fuller delivery and had a waft at it outside off stump. There's a real hunger to Sangakkara today. Expensive over then. 8 runs from it. 131 for 1. Timed the ball beautifully from the moment he came to the crease today. 4 overs from Joe Root, and he tucked in. He wasn't going to miss out on England's 6th bowl. Excellent use of the feet, and then he thread one through the extra cover area. Excellent use of the feet all round. So England exposed there. Couple of starts for Kumar Sangakkara in the series so far.
That's where he's so good. All round the wicket he scores. Makes it very difficult for bowlers. Margin of error almost non-existent.
Yeah, don't forget he had a period, what, 2 weeks, played 2 championship games up at Durham. And that will have been with this game and this series in mind, just to try and find his feet in English conditions.
Might have found it a bit too chilly, I think, at the start of the year up there.
Well, he missed out on the game we covered. That was a game against Yorkshire, but he tucked in against Sussex. I think he got 159, so he does come into the series with some form.
Remember, he comes from on this Sri Lankan team. People forget this. When they're at home, it never gets below 30 degrees. Well, I've never known it below 30 degrees in the time I've spent there.
Did one of your walks, didn't you, out there?
Nearly killed me, that. 50 degrees it was, road heat. 44 set out, 4 of us made it in total, the whole distance.
Why did you do it out there? What was the intention?
building a new village up in the north. We've already got one down the south, Senegama, Gami, and we wanted to mirror that up in the north. 22 years of civil war. There's never a nice civil war, it's always terrible. Yeah, so went up there, amazed to see the integration, how it's all working. And the north of Sri Lanka is coming back together. I think we've achieved it, so yeah, it was good. It was very, very hot though, seriously hot. Kumar came along and Murli. Quite a few of the boys popped in.
How many miles were you doing a day?
Too many. Every day was too many. I don't know, 20, something like that. Longest day was 42 Ks, whatever that is in old money.
You got any more planned?
Planning one at the moment in South Africa. Yeah. So, decided on the charity yet. It'll be a local charity. Street kids, or there'll be something. Decide that. Take some advice from friends over there. Mornay de Plessis.
Good from Trevor. A little bit slower, a little bit wider. Another good over. 3 runs from it. 134 for 1. Gorgeous day then here at Lord's. Weather has been a little bit iffy throughout the series. The sun is shining. Sri Lanka on top. We put into bat. I'll be delighted. 134 for 1. 2 of their best players, 2 of the most experienced players are set. England are searching really. Alistair Cook is having long chats with his bowler. I reckon he's got there eventually. He's going to position himself at what, 4th, 5th slip. I reckon that's a better fielder. I think he should have been in that position an over or 2 ago. He was ultra aggressive, wasn't he, in the last game? And part of the reason, of course, was because his bowlers bowled so effectively. They had conditions in their favour. It's easy to keep your slips in. This is more of a challenge for Alistair Cook as captain. Keep putting in those attacking positions, keep searching for wickets. Good as well. Mid-off is up on 1. Made the point earlier, Alistair Cook was too deep. It's all the points that England just need to get right if they're going to push and put pressure on the opposition. Don't just let the score rotate. Don't just let the left-hand, right-hand combination affect the bowlers. If you're on the 1, be on the 1.
Just cruising, Sri Lanka. Very happy to pick up these singles. Wickets in hand, just over the halfway mark.
Okay. If we can have a look upstairs, so safely in the end.
Yeah, I mean, straight too quickly. So I'm saying he's too deep. Saving one means save one. Allow them to get well in.
You just have to be careful that the bat doesn't lift up. But, all is okay.
You don't have to worry about it because his arms and upper torso are in as well.
Good over though, 3 runs from it, 137 for 1. Sangakkara, I thought, timed the ball beautifully. Dilshan, you'd probably say not quite so today. To work really hard for his runs. It's good to see the old Dill scoop. We saw a couple of them to James Anderson in 1 over. There you go, there's the second one. He tried a third, didn't quite come off. So confidence improving throughout this innings really for Tendulkar Dilshan. .88 in the first game of the series, so missed out on 100 down at Chester Street.
Ready. Yep. Excellent, Treaders.
Encouraging signs for Treadwell throughout this series. I was really concerned the way he bowled in the winter against Australia in particular, round the wicket. Hit the ball, I think, to the right-hander, giving the ball a little bit more flight now, getting up above the eye line. When you talk about these important overs, Beef, about England trying to search for wickets, Treadwell will bowl most of those overs. This is the moment when you look to your spinner. He doesn't have any variation, really. Variation of flight, yes, maybe.
Excellent fielding.
It's 2 to settle for 1. He's not playing championship cricket either at the moment, James Treadwell. So he'll finish this series. He'll go perhaps back to Kent's second 11, unless he can force his way back in the championship side, and then presumably gets picked again for the India series, the one-day series, which will be in a couple of months' time. It's not going to be easy, is it? Ideally, you want your leading spinner in one-day cricket to be playing championship cricket, playing against the best players in the country. Adam Riley, young lad from Kent, has got his position for now. Four runs from the 141 for 1. So a couple of overs from Chris Jordan. He's now out of the attack. Ravi Bopara returns. Where are you? Where are you with Ravi? Are you happy that he's the 5th bowler, or do you think he should be the 6th?
I think he's done all right. I think you'll have a much better idea after this summer, playing against two very well equipped one-day sides, I should say. You've got Sri Lanka now, and they're usually battling it out with India for the top spot one-day cricket. So India, terrific one-day side. So yeah, I think at the moment, yeah, he's done all right. We'll see if he gets exposed against the better sides, but we've got, what, 20 odd games, you say? Make their minds up, but he's done all right so far.
Well, there is a man at fine leg, but he generally gets it finer of that man. That's why he's played the shot. He's played it pretty well today.
I've got to tell you, you wouldn't want to be the wicket keeper, would you, with this going on? What's going to happen? Look, at Butler's got no chance.
Edged and gone fine, and will go for 4. No slip in place. I think it would have carried anyway.
Quite a big edge. Probably would have done, Nick. I think first slip wouldn't be too deep anyway, would he?
Maybe just from that reaction, maybe that was something that's discussed with Alistair Cook. Should I have a slip in? Lack of timing again, frustrating Dilshan. 6 runs from the over, 147 for 1. So James Treble to continue. Change up here. There we go, and Nasser Hussain.
Thanks, Nick. Great stuff from Sri Lanka and Sangakkara. He loves chipping the bowler back over his head. 4 more, he moves to 70.
Yeah, he really has found a rhythm today, Sangakkara. First time in the series, despite the 40 he made up at Chestler Street. This is his best innings by a distance. Fluent, timed the ball well. Very, very positive here.
Problems with that mid-on, David. I know you're a big fan of having mid-on up. With the new regulations, Cook's only allowed 4 men out, and so he's had mid-on up, and Sangakkara, against the spin, loves hitting over the top. So it's left Cook with a couple of problems.
Yeah, I mean, my problems have only been when batsmen have been under pressure and men have been back, and there's been the option to get a single to take some of that pressure off. Yes, you have to do things very differently when a batsman like Sangakkara is going as he is now. And for Dilshan, you've got long on, long off back, which is fair enough. Man's got 55. He's not been as fluent as the man on the other end. But you think there's a way of finding a space there.
We'll see now that if they settle for one, which they do, that mid-on generally comes up for Sangakkara, saying you can hit against the spin, but he's very good at hitting down the ground slightly against spin. Who's that at mid-on coming up? Joe Root at mid-on, on the edge of the circle. He'll walk in right to those dots in front of him. It's now Sangakkara's highest score of any kind at Lord's. He got 65 here in a test match in 2006. .155 for one.
Yeah, the problem for the captain is which gap is most important to plug, isn't it? Sangakkara, who does hit straight well, you might be tempted to put, well, you should be tempted, I think, to put that long on back again now. Then you open up a gap somewhere else. Either deep mid-wicket has to come in, or the deep cover, which then relies on the bowler keeping a certain line and a certain length. So, I mean, there are ways of compensating, but it is a gamble, and it depends. If you've got someone like Sangakkara enjoying himself today as he is, the quality batsman with these new regulations will do his best to try and make you look foolish as a bowler and a captain, and that's all part of the fun. That's why they've changed the regulations, to try and give that opportunity to the batsman, try and get the runs on the board on a day like this. And it's a conundrum a captain has to try and solve.
Yeah, it'll be a good test for Alistair Cook. We spoke in the game, before the game, about how Alistair up at Durham, Old Trafford, was very proactive with his captaincy, set the right field, had slips in and short legs. Easier to do that when you're bowling the opposition out for 67. This is where Alistair needs to come into his own a little bit as a captain. He's inserted the opposition. They're 155 for one. What can he do? What are his wicket-taking options? Maybe a little burst from Jimmy Anderson, his most experienced bowler.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, talking about that half an hour ago or so, a little bit longer than that, where in the middle of an innings, if you do find yourself with an opposition partnership going strong like this, 130 it is now from 149 balls, you want a wicket. How do you get a wicket? Well, unless you've got a really special spinner, which they don't have, you need a strike bowler. So you have to take up some overs from your strike bowler. And then that becomes a gamble if it doesn't work. It means your spinner's bowling later in the innings again, so someone like Treadwell or Root, between Treadwell, Root and Bopara, they have to get through 20 overs at a time maybe they don't want to do it. And that's credit to the batsman for manoeuvring that situation.
Not a lot he can do here now. Anderson a couple, but because of the side they've picked, he hasn't got that many options. He hasn't got that many wicket takers. He's got Jordan and Anderson basically. Even Gurney is a little bit of a mix-it-up type of bowler. He has got the wicket in this game so far, and then he's got his defensive bowlers in Treadwell, Root, Bopara. Maybe someone like Stokes when he's fully fit. Stokes in his brief international career has been able to take wickets at various points in an innings. Seems to have that knack.
The other thing we oughtn't to forget is that on good pitches, on good days like this, fine weather, anywhere in the world you'd expect runs to be made.
Especially if you bowl wide down the leg side.
Well, it was always going to be a wide, wasn't it? It's a question of whether it was 1 or, as it turns out, 4. Not a nice one for Joss Buttler to do with this. Quite a long way to go down the leg side there. He doesn't make it. Maybe could have done better, but when you're standing up at stumps like that, the one slip down the leg side is not good news.
Yeah, it was an attempted slower ball, wasn't it, from Bopara, where he just rolls his fingers back on the ball. Watch the way it comes out the hand here. He's just trying to roll his fingers back, and it just wobbles, takes pace off the ball. Pace on the ball from Sangakkara. Will it go all the way? No. One bounce and a boundary after the wide, an expensive over. 12 from it, 167 for 1.
Lovely shot. Beautiful shot, just gets everything right. Comes down the pitch first, keeps the balance, keeps his eye on the ball, knows that the mid-off is up. Fine shot. So he is now scoring it better than a runner ball. 77 from 75. He's the man responsible for the impetus in this innings, and that was after a very scratchy start as well. Very slow start for Sangakkara today. Just proves that if you take your time to get set and then unleash, it all works out pretty well in the end. There's still a long way to go as well. 20 overs, just under 20 overs to go now.
Yep. What does Wasp say? Wasp will probably be around about 320. There's a fight brewing at the back of the box. Jazza Strauss, who was the only person who was asked on Wasp today for some reason, being his ground, set it as 260. And Harry Hindsight Botham is just about to punch him, saying it's way above 260. Botham and Strauss just about to have a punch up. Don't worry about the boxing match this evening.
Oh, this is the undercard, is it? I've been telling her about the undercard.
I know my
full
money's
undercard. Strauss better get dancing.
Well, it's up at 324. The prediction now, 323 with that dot. Just 60 out from Strauss. Goes over mid-wicket. They can't set a feed to him. Mid-on went back, but he chooses a wider angle. 4 more.
Well, this is great batting, because they have put the long on back, which means they've taken the deep mid-wicket out. And this is the gamble that's been forced upon Alistair Cook. He's got to take a man from somewhere. And this is really good batting to go so wide of the long on there.
That's one thing England can improve on today, is the cutting off of singles. There have been a lot of people in the inner circle that have let them just have one. There's another example. And it came after this boundary. Watch the way he works his wrists against the spin. Beautiful batting.
And how he gets the ball, actually. It's the footwork gets him in the right place for that.
Now outside the line.
Ready?
73 for 1.
Well, partnership is excellent. 147 from 160. Dilshan very content just to play second fiddle today. 60 from 93. His strike rate's been going down while Sangakkara's has been rapidly accelerating. But the combination is excellent, because by keeping these wickets intact, got Jayawardene next to Ramana. There might be a change in the order. Matthews might promote himself up the order a bit. But that is a proper platform. How often do we talk about a platform? That is a platform.
And they've gone with a more attacking option, Sri Lanka. They always play the extra bowler. Matthews is their genuine all-rounder, and they back their batsmen. On a good pitch, they're used to conditions like this. With the sun out, they'll feel they can protect anything. That dressing room is more comfortable in these conditions. Will be time for England's strike bowler. There's Sri Lanka's strike bowler. Great Malinga, but on the field it's going to be Jimmy Anderson. Change of ends. He started at the pavilion end. Just been a bit of a struggle for Dilshan in the last 20 deliveries. His strike rate's just slipping in the wrong direction. It's been fine while Sangakkara's at the other end. Interesting to see how he goes in the next few overs. No boundaries in the last 26 deliveries, just 13 runs. All singles. .150 partnership and 163 deliveries. Best partnership for any wicket by Sri Lanka on this ground. Another single for Dilshan. He'll keep the strike. 179 for one. Here's Nick Knight.
Thanks very much, Ness. Yeah, Kumar Sangakkara did a masterclass with us at Durham where he talked about getting his foot to the pitch of the ball, but not too close so the bat can't access the ball. We've got some good examples of it here where he's used his feet. And the thing to look out for is the distance really between the bat and his leading foot. And you can see there's just a small gap really. If I just highlight that, you can see that's the gap you're looking for as we run through these next examples. Every single time, or bar one, there you go, there's another example. So he's getting close enough, and when he gets too close as he does there, he realizes he can't go through with the full shot. He just uses the wrist work, and there's excellent example of wrist work again. But he doesn't get too close. There are a lot of coaching manuals out there that say maybe you should get your foot right to the pitch of the ball. The danger, of course, with that is then the bat can't come through and hit the ball back down the ground. So it's a great example, really, of A, what he talked about in the masterclass, and B, carrying it out today.
It's a case of get your bat to the pitch of the ball. Not even that. Can you get too close sometimes so you can't take the aerial route?
The point he made about, well, we saw a good example of it there where he did get too close to it, realised he couldn't then access the ball with the full blade, and then just use the wrist to work it leg side. When he knew he got too close to it, perhaps Treadwell saw him coming and bowled it a little bit tighter line. But it's not getting too close, so you can't access the ball.
See how he goes here now, because mid-on's back again. He's taken the one higher wrist shot to go over mid-wicket. Treadwell's got 10 deliveries left.
I've got my Treadwell piece lurking.
Dilshan again just dealing in singles. 182 for one. Two of the three big guns going well for Sri Lanka. Still Jayawardene to come, but Dilshan, as he did at Durham, this partnership as it was at Durham, very important for Sri Lanka. Big 17 overs, though. It looks a flat pitch, and the modern day 300 on good pitches is only par. A little bit of shape there for Jimmy Anderson. Sangakkara's got to play a role here with Dilshan. There's plenty of wickets to come. Plenty of hitting opportunities and a batting power play. Stay in till the batting power play and then tee off. Go back to the old Dilshan. Three boundaries in the first 10 overs for Dilshan, just one since. I think he's just playing for the power play.
Well, that's the one that if you're Alistair Cook and Jimmy Anderson, you just want that to work for you. Good delivery from Anderson. Just look at this, just that little bit of shape, just enough to get it past the outside edge. Just too much, you could argue, of course, because what you're looking for is the nick. You get the wicket and you get a chance to put the brakes on. That's exactly what Alistair Cook was gambling for. Why he's had to bring Anderson on in the first place, just to try and get this wicket, try and do something about the flow of runs.
.184 for one.
That's where Bumble's got to today.
Resting. The old man's resting.
Strength and conditioning.
Yeah. One over to go to the power play, so England trying to get through another over of their fifth bowler, Joe Root, knowing that these two probably, if Dilshan ever gets up, I hope Dilshan's not too badly hurt, but Joe Root just wouldn't get off him.
Well, there was a real air of comedy about this. Root goes to the ball, doesn't quite get there. He does get Dilshan, who then can't move. Mind you, we should just hold forth on the laughter for a moment. He is still down there. What's he done? I mean, he had a groin strain before at the start of the series, which has required treatment. He's just...
Whether he got spiked, whether a spike of Joe Root just went into his ankle, but he's got a lot of protection there with a pad, and he's hobbling away. He's done his ankle. Not allowed a runner.
Well, actually, you can see how the whole ankle turns there when Joe Root lands on it. That's not so much fun. But he's up there again.
Ridiculous change, really, in the playing regulations. It's not a change in the law. The MCC haven't agreed with that change as a law. It's a playing regulation. You're not allowed a runner. You know, the opposition dive on top of you and break your ankle, and you're still not allowed a runner. Well, because Dilshan's getting some treatment, the umpires have called for drinks. 184 for 1.
Slayed any dragons? I'll say he breathed fire at me, OK, but my sword was stuck in my sheath. Right. So you killed him with one hand? Yes, I just bossed him over like that.
A slight hold up, but everything seems to be okay. Dilshan back on his feet. Had a little bit of strapping. He seemed to turn his ankle. We'll watch him. He came in with a bit of a groin strain. Now he's got a busted ankle as well, so he's doing well. Should still be out there. Oh, he seems to be moving okay.
Yeah, Nasser Hussain was talking about that playing regulation that doesn't allow a runner, introduced mainly on the back of batsmen taking advantage of the rule to have a runner when they had cramp or when they were just feeling tired. So that's why it came in these circumstances. It does seem a little bit strange.
Excellent piece of fielding. Saved 3 runs for sure. Very balanced. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think it's common sense should prevail. I mean, yes, there were people taking advantage. We could hardly call someone falling over each other and doing an ankle. That's just common sense. No one's catching that.
Yeah, well, we've seen this shot quite a few times from Kumar Sangakkara today. Really light on his feet. He's been going down the wicket a lot to the spinners. But also hitting against the spin. Always a tough shot to play this. Gets to the pitch and goes wide of mid-on. Really good play. It's his 13th boundary now.
Two more there. Yeah, the rules brought in, I suppose, because people were taking advantage of it. You batsmen, you see.
Well, the unfit batsmen are taking advantage of it, aren't they?
Go on, name names. $193 for one. Big game up in the north today. St Anne's v Penrith in the Northern Premier Cricket League. And that man there, Andrew Flintoff, been out of the game for 4 years. Wants to play T20 for Lancashire. Hope he knows what he's doing.
They could have given him a tracksuit, couldn't they? Looks a bit out of place there, Freddie. I mean, the big thing for Flintoff, obviously, is can his body, is he able to withstand the rigours of the game? It's all right doing it in the nets, but actually out there in the middle, fielding, diving side to side, all that sort of stuff, that's going to be a big question mark for him.
We shall see.
We shall see.
7 overs, none for 38, Jimmy Anderson.
So the power play overs now. Sri Lanka in a great position, 193 for one off 35. Two batsmen in. Sangakkara already on 95 off 89 balls.
They have to take it now, don't they? So it actually has probably come just about spot on from Sri Lanka's point of view. Sangakkara accelerated now to 95 from 89 deliveries, and when you think it took him 13 deliveries to get off the mark, now what he's played since. Dilshan quite happy to be the understudy in this partnership. Clipped away.
Quite uncharacteristic from Tendulkar Dilshan, only 67 off 106 balls. Usually the aggressor, but he hasn't really needed to be the aggressor because Sangakkara has been going down so well at the other end. Really interesting to see how they're going to play in these power play overs. England allowed the 3 fielders outside the circle. Fine leg, third man, and a deep square leg in position.
Plays this shot, but on this occasion he misses out.
Well, the Dill scoop, it's been so successful for him for a long period of time. Don't know if he really needs to play it with the 2 men out there. I suppose it goes straight over the keeper, goes for 4. Just hasn't quite been able to time the ball today, Dilshan.
Again, that's not timed, it's more of a club, but an effective club. 98 then for one.
Yeah, slightly agricultural. Go down the wicket and just have a hoik. Got it just wide of mid-on. That's what you need to do in the power play overs, though. No point in waiting for the bad ball.
Once too often. Why you want to keep on doing that when you're playing so well is beyond me. But he's gone.
Yeah, was an advisable shot at this stage for Tendulkar Dilshan. Anderson was right on the money, leg stump. And a bit of a freebie wicket there for England. A wicket that's much needed, to be fair, for England. Sri Lanka now 198 for 2. Tilakaratne goes for 71.
Huh. I just noticed my finger's rather magnificent. What say you to this chap?
It be the finest finger in the entire realm, my lord.
Ah, it is.
Another player with a few games to his name, just a mere 416. The Hayley Jaya Wardener. Over 11,500 runs, average of 33. His best is against England. That was in Headingley in 2011, 144. Joins Kumar Sangakkara out there.
Centre. One leg.
Dilshan. Well, I wouldn't be overly impressed if I was in the Sri Lankan dressing room with that, but still.
I mean, it is his shot. He plays it very successfully majority of the time, but as you said, fine leg in place, all the other fielders up on the one. It's like a strange decision making from Dilshan.
Partnership was worth 172 though from 188 deliveries. Off the mark, first ball.
Can be a tricky time to come in, actually, power play overs. There's a lot of kind of responsibility on your shoulders to make use of them and score quickly straight away. Been a bit of a problem time for England over the years, the batting power play, losing wickets and not taking advantage of it.
.36 overs gone then, 6 runs off that one, 199 for 2. So what, 14 overs left. What was your prediction this morning, Straussy?
260.
260.
Well, hold on a second. Let me explain how we predict the Wasps.
I'm sure everybody at home's
Okay, because it's
on the edge of their seats now.
the starting point is statistical analysis of the ground over a long period of time. The average score here is 239. Then there's a degree of commentator input. Now, it's a nice day today. I had a chat with Mick Hunt at the start of play. He said he thought the wicket might be a bit tacky. Might not come on that well. So 260 seemed like a reasonable score. Remember, it's a par score, so Sri Lanka have played exceptionally well so far to be 55 above par. You see the Wasps there, 315. So all in all, I think I've done a pretty good job there, Beefy. What do you think?
Awesome. Absolutely awesome. It would probably be nearer 360 than 260 at the end of the day.
What did NASA call it? Harry Hindsight, was it?
No, I was asked this morning. I was asked down in the middle there before the game, and I said, I thought 280, 300. Just looked a good pitch. Outfield's good. Terrific outfield. Best I've seen the Lord's outfield for a long time.
Well, neither side's been heavily in the run so far this series. England bowled out for less than 100 and Sri Lanka 67.
Well, Sri Lanka will be enjoying this. Sun's out. started off, it was a good toss, and I think England did the right thing. The cloud rolled in nicely for them. They had a couple of hours with the cloud cover. Now it's burnt off, moved on. But it's not an easy ground defend. It's quick outfield, and it is usually a very good surface, and this looks a good surface to me.
.200 up now for Sri Lanka, 200 for 2. They've certainly taken advantage of this good wicket here. Kumar Sangakkara has been outstanding. Very composed innings from him. He's played the spinners brilliantly, as he always does. See that, those middle overs, 54 balls for the second 50, 49 for the third, 50 for the fourth. Being able to tick over in those middle overs very effectively.
That's timed nicely, too well probably. It's going to be a single.
Sri Lanka would have been very keen to take advantage of this power play period. So many wickets in hand. It's a bit tricky, as I said before, for Jai Wardner to come in and start blazing it everywhere straight away. Look at the field here. Men out, the 3 men that England are allowed out are fine leg, deep square leg and third man, so plenty of men up in the ring on the offside.
Good over, just 2 from it. 201 for 2.
Just 8 runs off the 2 overs of power play so far. Sri Lanka really well placed, 201 for 2. They're looking for something well in excess of 300 from that position.
One centre, or 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or somewhere between 260 and 300, depends.
Between 260 and 360. Somewhere in between there.
England bringing the changes in this power play. Harry Gurney, who tends to bowl in these circumstances, that left arm angle, always effective in one-day cricket. You see it so much in 2020 cricket as well. It's creating a different angle for the batsmen, sometimes hard for them to work out where their scoring areas are.
Easy single.
Quite like the way that Harry Gurney's very keen to take responsibility for his own field. He's not relying on the captain to set it. He knows where he's trying to bowl. It's been impressive about him so far in his brief international career.
Yeah, it is good to see. He's the one bowling it. He knows what he's trying to do. He wants his key fielders. Close to the stumps.
Yeah, good line there to Sangakkara, to Jayawardene, correction. Has prompted the change in the field. Gurney's got the cover point man out on the boundary now. This is good from England. It's a good comeback in this batting power play. Slip in position as well. So Alistair Cook quite happy to attack Jayawardene.
No, it's on the half volley. It didn't look right, and no reaction whatsoever from Owen Morgan.
Yeah, the bowler thought he had him. There was a cross seam. You can see the slower ball. Hard to see from that angle.
Nasser have claimed it. No, bounces. Good over, just a single from it. 38 gone, 202 for 2. It's 9 from 3 overs now in the power play.
Sri Lanka bringing me back into the contest here. It's 260 odd. From their point of view, really important they kick on here. As you correctly say, Beefy, it is a flat wicket, so can't afford to have too big a lull.
Two overs that left then in this power play. Called. That could well be the 100. They're coming back, and that will be the 100. And an excellent 100 it's been as well from Kumar Sangakkara. His first ever 100 at Lord's. And that's his 19th one-day 100, but his first ever, his highest score at Lord's.
Yeah, brilliant 100 from Sangakkara. Really, from the moment he came in, it took a few balls to get going, but as soon as the spinners came on, he's been in phenomenal form. Look at that 100 off 95 balls. Been a real exhibition from one of the great players of the modern era.
Just a single. We'll see Sangakkara, I think, accelerate now and want to take the game. Wanted to get his 100, and quite rightly. Scored 101 off 96 balls.
Yeah, well, he's got the freedom now, hasn't he, to go after the 10 balls that are left in this batting power play. Jayawardene has faced 10 balls so far, only for 2 runs, so they do need him to push on here a little as well. Those fielders on the offside are up in the circle at the moment.
Boy, I feel he missed out there. Back of a length, a little too short, and try to pick it up, but it's gone a long way, wasn't it?
Yeah, but he hasn't been in great form, Jai Warner, so far in this series, so it's not an easy time to come in, you know. He's not that sort of player that just whacks it from the outset. Likes to build in innings.
Drop it and run. Give Sangakkara the strike.
Well, you would have thought with 400 odd ODIs under his belt, he'd know how to react to this situation.
Well taken by Buttler. He was going away from him with the slope of the ground here at Lord's.
Doesn't look like Jai Warner's looking for the single at the moment. He's looking for that boundary option. Jordan's been bowling well, spearing in at the body.
Well, he got away with one early in the over, not on this occasion. Jai Warner hits it to the mid-wicket boundary.
Yeah, I think he knew where it was coming this time. And 2 balls there already in the over, and he was waiting for it. That would be a relief for him, his first boundary.
Shouts to catch it, but dropping short. A moment for Sangakkara. Pulls it, off he goes, and he'll be knowing now that he's got his 100. 2 runs, comfortable runs, and congratulations from his big mate, Mahela Jai Warner.
19 ODI hundreds for Kumar Sangakkara. Phenomenal player in all forms of the game, really. Look at his record. It's up there with the greats, the likes of Tendulkar. He is right up there, Kumar Sangakkara, and as a left-hander, great template to how to bat. Very good technically. Scored runs all around the world. That's a fantastic ODI career.
Out to the fine leg, just a single from the final ball of the over. 212 for 2.
Yeah, well, it was mainly against the spinners that Sangakkara got going. Used his feet really well. I mean, these are classic shots from a classic batsman. Really played the spinners well in this innings. We're seeing a lot of his shots against the seamers here, but a lot of those sort of shots as well. Using his feet well, coming down the wicket, not over-hitting the ball. That's the key. He knows his spot, and he's really timed the ball well from the moment he came in. Brilliant innings from Sangakkara.
All around the wicket.
Yeah, plenty of boundaries, 13 boundaries. Maneuvers the ball around. Very hard man to bowl at, Kumar Sangakkara.
Gonna have to run for that. Straight back down the ground.
Sangakkara not renowned as a massive hitter of the ball, but his 2020 record is very good, and it's because he can play all sorts of shots. And there's another example of it, getting right back in his crease, opening up that front leg. Look at the front leg going towards the leg side, giving himself freedom to get his arms through the ball.
He got that in the gap. Just a single. Good fielding. And Bell.
Let's have a look at Sangakkara against the spinners. They're really indicative of how much he's used his feet. Those boundaries, all of them coming down the pitch at the spinners, hitting them straight over their heads primarily. One of the great players of spin in the modern era.
Straight to mid-off. Not time, not in the middle of the bat, high on the bat, and he struggled a bit there, Jayawardene. And as you say, he hasn't been in the best of form in the one-days. Gurney picks up his second wicket. I just want to check the front foot, no ball. Absolutely fine.
I think he bowled a couple of no balls in the first ODI, but that one was okay. And you're absolutely right. Jayawardene just never really got going. Struggling to time the ball. It was the right shot option, but just didn't execute. Very easy catch for James Anderson. So Jayawardene goes. He scored 7 off 14 balls in Sri Lanka, 217 for 3.
That's my impression of a griffin. I've been practicing it, you know. Oh, it's frightening. Thank you.
Sri Lankan captain comes out to the middle, no real surprise there. Angelo Matthews, a very experienced player. Good average, middle order. We've got some good strikers of the ball to come in, Sri Lanka, so should be an interesting 10.5 overs to come. Slip in for the new batsman, good move.
Yeah, especially with the slope, going down the slope from Harry Gurney, going across the right-hander. Always a chance he's going to nick one early.
Way outside, not sure it's even going to hit. Another dismissal, just mistimed.
Yeah, you can see he ran his fingers over the ball. It was a bit of a slower ball. Just didn't get going, Jayawardene. He was going hard at the ball, as you have to do, I suppose, in that power play period, but just never got going. One of those innings. Gurney's been impressive. 6.5 overs, 2 for 19 now. Economy rate of 2.78, so that's outstanding in anyone's language. Looks like he knows what he's doing with the ball. Certainly hasn't been overruled at all in his short international career so far.
Almost dragged that onto the stumps. 217 for 3. That's the end of the power play. How close does this get? Doesn't know where it is. Oh, just bounced, so you can see the shadow of the ball on the top of the stumps.
Yeah, pretty close. Only 24 runs off that power play, which England will be delighted about, as well as the 2 wickets. So a bit of a curse of the power play for Sri Lanka there. What has been noticeable is that how quickly they've scored outside of the power play overs. Around 6 and over for that period away from the power play. Just have a quick look at this again. Oh, wow, that is close, isn't it? Small margins this game.
The batsman can do nothing, can he? All he can do is stand there and watch and wish it over the top of the stumps. Well, he got his wish. Joe Root, 5 overs, none for 36. Now they've targeted the spinners, particularly Sangakkara so far. Easy single.
Slightly surprising that Cook's gone back to Root. It's been his day so far, going over 7 runs and over. James Treble just with a 1 over left, so I suppose if Cook does want to change of pace, then Root is probably the man to do it.
Rover Para bowled 4 overs. He was going at 9 runs and over. Root has bowled 5.1. So when he's finished this, that's the 10 between them gone.
Yeah, and a good time to bring the spinner on as well, with the new batsman in, Angelo Matthews, yet to score. So quickly run through and over. You almost sort of get rid of that final over from the 5th bowler without getting attacked. That's the thinking anyway. So far it's worked pretty well, just 1 off the 2 balls.
Couldn't quite get it through the gap. Gets the single.
Sangakkara has often gone the other way so far in his innings against the off-spinner, trying to hit them over mid-wicket. Just shows the range of shots he has there, trying to go inside out. Nearly got it through.
All right, 2 more balls to go. Sorry, 1 more ball to go. Just 3 runs from the over. That's good. Mowed it, but it's straight to the guy. So 4 from the over. England will be pleased with that. 221 for 3.
Sri Lanka still in a good position. 221 for 3 with 9 overs left. They'll still be looking towards that 300 plus score. Asif Malinga keen to bowl the big target. Last game bundled out for 67, gave him nothing to work with. England have come back pretty well though. Power play, batting power play went their way. Be hoping for a big finish here. Anything under 300 England will be happy with now, I think.
It's through the gap. Changed his line of attack. I'm not quite sure why. Everything was going fine from over the wicket.
What he does very well from over the wicket is he tucks up the right-handers. He bowls into sort of middle and leg stump and doesn't give them any freedom to hit him through the offside. Change of angle did allow Matthews to hit it through there. He did back away a little bit to the leg side, so you've got to give him some credit for that. But with all the men up on that offside, it's an easy shot for him to play.
Got away with that one.
Wonder whether Alistair Cook's got to re-look at this field. With that, it's so easy to hit bowlers through the offside down that hill towards the tavern stand. Hasn't got any protection out there.
Well, you can't bowl this line, not with this field. There's 4 more.
You can see what England wants him to do. They want to force him to hit leg side. So Gurney coming round the wicket that's the idea, to tuck him up. But actually, what it is doing is giving him more freedom. Just giving a couple of freebies there. Got him going. Now 10 off 10 deliveries. Angelo Matthews. Another conversation between captain and bowler. No field change so far.
We're over 9 off this now with 2 balls to go.
Only coming back over the wicket to the left-handed Sangakkara. Cook just trying to get his fielders in the right place. Wicket in position, fine leg, long on, long off. Again, Gurney can try and bowl very, very straight to Sangakkara. Any width, and he's going for 4 here.
Going to target that side, that is for sure. Give a couple. It's away with it. 42 overs now completed. 233 for 3. Eight overs to go. James Treadwell comes back into the attack, and coming into the commentary box, Russell Arnold with Michael Hall.
Thank you, Beefy. Much better day batting here for Sri Lanka than we have seen in the series so far. At one point, it seemed as if they would get well beyond 300. Still a possibility. 8 overs to go. 8 runs and over from here will get them 297. Here's Treadwell. Oh, it's gone. That's a very important wicket for England.
And just at the wrong time. the set batsman. It's the batsman who's been holding the Sri Lankan innings together. Kumar Sangakkara. But what a knock it's been. Just left to squeeze. A little too early, and Treadwell fired it wide of the stumps. Splendid knock from Sangakkara. 112 off 104. Sri Lanka 233 for 4.